Don't attempt to touch that dial. It's your boy Big Vern. And you in the App Stupid Studios. You know how we do on the other side of the content, bringing you the best, whether it's hip hop, whether it's sports, whether it's just us giving our commentary on pop culture. Y'all tuned in. Let's get after it. Coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios on a wet Wednesday here in the Midwest. They calling for showers and storms. So if you got to get your pets out, get them out now before the storms show up. Then get them back in where it's nice and dry. Like I say, this is a cosmic slop show. Not going to even attempt to recap at this because no need to. No need. But it's going to go ahead and bring us to our next story. Terry Bradshaw. He's got smoke for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yep, you heard it here first. Terry Bradshaw is letting loose over the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. And if you've been living under a rock, you know that Terry Bradshaw does not care for Aaron Rodgers. And he said as much when he was interviewed by CBS Sports. Now, they picked this up out of he called into a radio show in Little Rock, Arkansas. And he didn't back down. He didn't hold his tongue at all. Now, he calls the Steelers organization a joke. Yep, he's saying that they aren't serious about winning and the whole get Aaron Rodgers as a QB thing. That to me is just a joke. What are you going to do? Bring him in for 1 year? Are you kidding me? That guy needs to stay in California, go somewhere and chew on bark and whisper to the gods out there. Yikes. His words, not mine. But does Terry have a point? Does Terry Bradshaw have a point about the Steelers and all the capitulation they've made for Aaron Rodgers? Because the Steelers, they tried to draw a line in the sand at the end of March saying, we're not going to wait around for forever. Only to sit around and wait for forever. It's like almost when you're a little kid and you sitting here, you want to go ahead and you don't want to really fight the guy. And then you take your foot and draw a line in the sand. If you come across this line, I'm going to punch you. Then he steps across the line. Then you draw another line. I'm serious. Don't come across this line. Then he stepped that line up. Man, yeah, you get where I'm going with this. Does Bradshaw have a point? I don't know. We'll get more into that when we get back from a quick 20 from a rap album. It's your boy Big Vern. Gimme a beat. Dun, 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 dun. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios. We got another rap album. I know it's like Christmas around here. Amir Ali, High Street, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on the track is Welcome to High Street, 5179, Rookie LeBron, Champions with Lids. That is dope. That Champion song is crazy. Virginia is for lovers. Please don't feed the wolves. That's deep. That's deep. This dude is from West Philly, and he got bars on cotton. I'm like, what? Oh my goodness, that guy, that time I got robbed. Now, Greyhound Crown Gold Records, who did that beat? Who did that beat? I need to know homie's name who did that beat, because the beat flip is ridiculous. Oh my God. After the money comes, Crown Talks, wow. Sorry, not sorry, therapy and conscious. Look, Amir Ali is playing no games. High Street, in stores now. Shout out to Amir Ali doing his thing. Make sure y'all go get the project. It was dope. So when we last left off on the other side of the content, Terry Bradshaw was taking the organization down. I'm talking about he was taking them down, taking them for a woodshed, a whooping by all accounts. And he was right. He was right about everything he was saying. And of course, his criticisms of Aaron Rodgers couldn't be more spot on. Now, Bradshaw wasn't done flapping his pie hole. I know there's more. He said, I like Kenny Pickett. I like him at the University of Pittsburgh. I know him. I know what he likes. when they got him, talking about the Steelers, they didn't protect him. They didn't give him an offensive line. They wanted to run the football, but they didn't have an offensive line that can do that. So they didn't get him any weapons. He had no wide receivers to speak of. They threw a kid in there for 2 years, and you've got an offense that doesn't fit and doesn't work, and they can't run because their offensive line's not even good enough for a run block team. Now, they're saying Kenny Pickett is a failure. He wasn't a failure. The Steelers was a failure. Yikes. End quote. Again, this is all Terry Bradshaw. And homie is getting ready to speak his mind that he's off the reservation. He has no obligation to protect the Steelers organization. He's got no obligation to protect the league. It is what it is. And if you were a fan of the Steel Curtain, those days are over. Those days are over. And is he wrong? Could be not. Also, is there some bad blood between the Steelers organization and Bradshaw? Because it's been brewing for a long time. And when people talk like this and they go on the record and they put their name behind it, there's a there. I'm not sitting here saying that Terry's not going to be justified in his critique of the organization or the way that they handled the Kenny Pickett situation. However, looking at what you see right here, this seems like more of a grievance between a player and an organization than color commentary versus a team. You can scrutinize them and put them under the microscope as much as you want. However, Terry Bradshaw did win 4 Super Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was Tom Brady before Tom Brady was Tom Brady. And then Joe Montana came along. And so on and so forth. But yeah, he let loose. Aaron Rodgers needs to go chew on bark and whisper to the gods somewhere out in California. I mean, the only thing he could have followed that up with is get the hell out of here. You kidding me? This is a joke. He calls the organization that led him to so much prominence where he was able to gain a fan base, he regards them now as nothing but jokes and cartoons. And how much of this falls on Mike Tomlin? How much of this falls on Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan? Because all of the moves that he displayed his pretty much discussed when the way the whole Kenny Pickett situation went down, that was all aimed at the way that Kenny Pickett was handled. And you could only blame 2 individuals for that, which is Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan. He referenced poor drafting. The last 3 years, the Steelers haven't really moved the needle. This year, in free agency, they went out and got DK Metcalf. That hasn't really produced anything other than more pissed off fans because now you don't have a quarterback to throw him the football. You're waiting on Aaron Rodgers whenever he's going to make up his mind. But you went out and you got Will. And trust me, I like the quarterback from Ohio State. I think that he's a good guy. But this is pros. This ain't college. You passed on Jackson Dart. You passed on Tyler Shaw. You passed on Shedeur Sanders. The O-line problems, they still persist. There's no remedy in sight for that. There's no real wide receiver threat this season or last season. So does Bradshaw have a point? Does Bradshaw have a point? And if so, let me know in the comments. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, is anything that I just said, is that a deal breaker? Because Terry Bradshaw, though you might say he's punch drunk, some people say that he's losing his mind and he's got the early onsets of dementia, or CTE, whatever you might want to call it. He seemed very coherent right there when he told you what his big dust up with the Steelers organization is. He seemed like he was with it. He was with it enough to sit here and tell y'all full of shit. And you shouldn't be waiting on a 41-year-old quarterback who's done nothing but stat stuff and stink up the joint for the last 2.5 to 3 years. I don't know where you go with that. I'm not a Pittsburgh fan, but I want to hear from the black and yellow faithful, the terrible towels. I want to get in here. I want some of the steel curtain guys to get in here. Let me know what's going on. It's your boy Big Vern. Again, if you are listening to this pod, get in the comments. Let us know that we get it right. What did we leave out? This is Big Vern. We talk back. We'll be back. We'll be back. Top of the hour.